It's your boy, Teflon. Got another segment, Paid the Cost Podcast, Teflon Thoughts. Today we're talking about the will of living, and the power of division. I separated us, but paid the cost. And we're going to talk about it. Let's get it. Sometimes people don't really understand what division does, especially as blacks. Because let's get it. Teflon's thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to revisit the Willie Lynch letter because when you read through the Willie Lynch letter, even though some people have said, "Oh, that letter is not, it's not a real letter," but why is it so accurate, to how black people have been divided, here in Kalamazoo, here in America, even out through the world? Why is it so accurate? It's very, very accurate. I want to read through this a little bit, just point out that the power of division and how we, as black people, even globally participate, in this particular division, and if you want to strip away the ability of racism and white supremacy to keep controlling black folks, the key is to get rid of the division and how division is used. So in the letter, as we look in here, he says, in my bag here, I have a foolproof method of controlling the black slaves. And I can guarantee every one of you that if it's installed correctly, and which it have, it'll control the slaves for at least 300 years. It says, my method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined the number of differences among slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. Now listen to that. Fear, distrust, and envy. Okay, now what do they do at the police? Why do they use the propaganda with the police? Because the police officer gunning down a black person and running on a loop every day, in the media. But actually, if you do the research, the police actually shoots more white people than black people. But based on the media propaganda, and why it says propaganda, and it'll make you think that they're only doing that to black people. So they show this in a loop. And what is the loop is supposed to do? It's supposed to make you fear. As far as the target tactics of Willie Lynch is to get you to fear. Same thing during slavery. They would take a slave, beat them, and do all type of horrible and gross things to the slave, and buck break slaves, in front of everybody. All the slave plantation, why? For fear. And he continued to say that he also used distrust. Okay, now why distrust? Okay, because when a person distrusts you, a lot of times, they're trying to gain that trust from that person. So if you're constantly trying to gain the trust, and you'll never get it because that's a tactic of it's being used for control, and envy, for the control purposes of jealousy. Now you got to remember, validation is part of it too. Now, why this person got to be in the graces of masses and I can't? So you don't like another black person because he in the good graces of masses, right? So a lot of things is all about control. And you can say these methods can work on the plantation in the West Indies or the Caribbeans, but then say will work throughout the South. They say take this simple little list and think about it. It said on top of my list is age, but it is there because it starts with the letter A, and the second is color or shade. There's intelligence, sex size, plantations, status on plantations, attitudes of owners, whatever slaves live in the valley, the hill, east, west, south, fine hair, coarse hair, or tall or short. Now, listen to that list. If you look at the black community today, the age, the younger people don't like the older people, and the older people don't like the younger people. He talked about color and shade, colorism. Not only does we have colorism, in this society in America, but we actually process colorism in our own community. Intelligence, aka WILLIE. Oh yeah, I'm smarter than the average black person. You know, I'm part of this group called a WILLIE. The rest of them, underneath me. I'm next to master. Of course, you're talking about size and sex and plantation. We can go on. And so on and so forth. But attitude of the owner, status of the plantation. I'm close to the master. Getting crumbs from the table. That's a division. You know, when I say a WILLIE, what I mean, that fits all in the status of the plantation of the intelligence. What I mean, I'm better than you. Okay, now where slaves live, right? Where you live a lot, they can create division that way. I'm better than them that live on the east side. I live on the west side. What I mean? I live in the suburbs. I live over here where they live at. Behind, in this gated community. So I'm better than y'all. He said, have fine hair, coarse hair. Now think about that. How many times in the black community we keep talking about, that's good hair or bad hair? How many times have we said that? All our issues, is pretty much linked to things like pretty much WILLIE Lynch. No other group have been picked apart in that manner. No other group have been picked apart in that manner. Every other group have never been told nothing about their color, their hair. They have never been trying to be divided with age, intelligence. None of this. So when other groups try to compare themselves to us, this why it's kind of silly when I hear that. And they try to do that because they try to get a leg up. Because we are the only people in this country, and remember, who's had a story like ours. Nobody else has ever had our story, period, and won't have our story. And I can continue to say, now that you got a list of differences, you say, I will give you an outline of actions. And before that, I should assure you that distrust is stronger than trust. And envy is stronger than admiration. Respect or admiration. He said the black slaves is after the single dark nation should carry on and become self-refueling and self-generation for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. He said, don't forget that you got to put the old against the young male against the old male. You must use the light-skinned slaves against the dark-skinned slaves. You gotta use the female against the male and the male against the female. You also must have your overseers that distrust all blacks. So you gotta have it to the point where they don't trust blacks at all. But it's must that they trust them, be dependent on enough. So they want them to trust them. Now that portion right there is what I want to home in on a little bit more than anything else. Is that he taught with the folks that they must distrust all black people. It don't matter if you are a saint or a sinner. It don't matter if you a president, an astrophysicist, a doctor. It don't matter if you homeless. You're not to trust and have distrust of all black people. You know what I'm saying? But we see that in society now. So when they say WILLIE Lynch is fake, no, it's not fake based on what we see. Now he says it's necessary to have your slaves, which is the black people, trust and depend on us, and they must love, respect, and trust only us. What's one way that I noticed that more than anything? I'm gonna say something on this platform, you know what I mean, but or I said on some other platform, so you go to my YouTube and subscribe to it, but for more stuff to support my show. But you can also hit me on TikTok, you know what I mean, everything, so I try to make things informational, but we'll get there, but when I say something on this platform anyway, sometimes I get some type of emails from people. Sometimes they're like, Darnell, you need to listen to this person. You gotta listen to what he says. I'm like, okay, I'm about to hear something profound that I ain't never heard. But then I play it, and then it's a video of somebody, in their community or something. And I'm telling you, he's saying pretty much the same shit I'm saying. And I'm like, damn, I say this shit all the time. What's so special about him? You know, what does he say? He said that was so profound. A lot of black people will only respect and trust it unless it comes from them. You know what I mean? I said before, you know, I can literally train up a white motherfucker, uh, put him right here and have him speak exactly like me. And the white man will gain more viewership. The white man will gain more love than I can ever gain. And all they gotta do is just talk like me. You know, that's it. You know, on this same platform. You know, this I do know. You know, because I've seen the responses. You know, when I interview, you know, me white men and old people in the community, you know, saying things similar than what I'm saying, and the views is like through the roof. You know, but so no, Willie Lynch is not a fake thing. You know, because I've seen that. You know, when he say they must love. Think about it. They, the police, um, they would take our children up out of here. And how many times have you seen black people, you know, forgiving? You know, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive. You know, but you don't forgive another black person. You know, if they even step on your shoe, you know, we'd rather take them up out of here. You know, we'd rather kill them. But you know, white folks, you know, what I mean, you know, you love them, you forgive them. You know, what I mean, we tend to have more respect for them. You know, when we go into one of their business, as a matter of fact, we try to follow all the rules possible. Go into a black establishment, you know, a black business, you know what I mean? You don't want to respect them. You know, you'll look down on them and you'll be like, you know what I mean, mad at them. You know, seem like you'll be mad if they got rules, you know, like they ain't supposed to have that. You know what I mean? Demanding you to respect them in their business. You'll get angry with that black man, you know what I mean, if he try to demand you to respect his business. Real talk. And you know what I mean? That, you know, it's crazy. Because black folks right here in Kalamazoo, you know what I mean, you know, they'll get upset with their brother, you know what I mean, you know, just for having some type of rules in their establishment. You know, but if this is a white owned business and they told you the exact same rules, man, let's say something like up and under or something. If they tell you, you know, you got to obey the rules, you can't come in at this time, you know what I mean? You're not arguing with them, you know what I mean? You're not telling them no, you're gonna follow the rules, you're gonna be glad to follow them. You know what I mean? So when people, you know, just right here, he said, when if you follow these rules, you know what I mean, they will be self-generated and self-replicated. And that's exactly what a lot of you have done. It's the truth. You know what I mean? And now they say, gentlemen, now these kids are the keys of control. He said, use them. To have your wife and children use them. Never miss an opportunity to say, if used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will be made distrustful. You know, there's another part that I really want to talk about. What you're talking about, you know, but they will always be a one or a few that can see straight through what we're doing, because there's always going to be one that can see through what they're doing. But the key to this whole thing is division. Divide, divide, divide. But at the same time, we got to be realistic. You know, you know, you know, sometimes, you know, you know, you got to remember how important it is, you know, to have your own and support your own. You know, some people say, you know, well, you know, how come everybody get on one app or one website? No, that, you know, that ain't gonna happen. You know, it's a diversity of thought because everybody got different thoughts, you know, in opinions. You know, that won't work. It's a diversity of thoughts. I may have a thought, somebody else may have a thought, and we all got platforms, you know what I mean, so they can different thoughts. You know, if you got one platform and all that go down, then you're down. So you need a diversity of programs, you know, so we can't be dividing on that. You know, we got to support each other, and we got to make sure we support what's important. You know, actually what we got to do is get rid of division. And as you know, division is what's used, and they're constantly using that. You know, they promote that light skinned, dark skinned, male, female. You know, but you know, we are cold with each other. You know, what I mean, we don't do that. We don't do that. And you know, that's on. You know, the only time we're gonna divide is on the issues of good versus evil. You're supposed to divide from that. So people in the community is doing evil things like going along to get along, you know, and in a system that's against the community. Okay, you're supposed to divide from that. You know, you're supposed to be going along with that. You know, you're supposed to be calling that out. And that's right for us to do that. You know, and it is, tell you the truth. You know, but if it's not nothing going along with good and evil, we gotta stay on code. And when we trust me, when we on code with each other and unified, man, come on now. And not allow none of the trickery, that is given, you know, by the devil, because the devil, you know, the Bible teaches you the devil has the word trickery. You know, if we just focus on being on code and we focus on our community and try to pull us away from and focus on our community, and that's how they divide us. Because you know, when you separate yourself from your community, and in order for us to be whole, we got to focus on our community and our community only. You know, economically, we're not even in a situation to even, you know, melt, you know, get in the melting pot with other people, you know. So I'm not gonna never put myself in a position where I'm wrong, you know what I mean, no matter what I say. I just won't even say nothing. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. I'll take all my energy to help our community, you know, and I'm gonna tell you something, never feel bad about having that attitude. I mean, I'm focusing on our community and what we're doing, you know. So I tell you what, you know, that's why, you know, here at Paid the Cost Podcast, you know what I mean, we don't run on division, you know what I mean, we work together, and we trust each other. We're gonna, you know, trust each other, and we're gonna go through our up and downs, you know what I mean. But I tell you what, with your help and your support, you know what I mean, you know, we'll get there, you know. And this is one of the most important platforms, you know what I mean, for us to get information out and exchange information, you know. So you know, supporting other Black businesses as well, you know, just you know, just that's why we partner with other people, you know, we partner with other Black businesses, you know, we'll get on the platform that we need, you know what I mean, you know,